We are on episode 2. We have some things we want to talk about, especially what happened last year, 2017, when Harvey hit. So Hurricane Harvey hits Houston, and it hits hard. I was not in town when I got the word that we're going to have a hurricane. The crazy thing is, we've been through so many hurricanes and things like that. We know that the forecast can change instantly. And with that knowledge, we were trying to decide if I should come back home because I travel sometimes for work. So I'm in Dallas trying to finish up a job, and we get word that 54 inches is about to hit Houston. And if I don't leave right this moment, then I may not be able to make it in.
Back in 1950, we had a tropical system in Hawaii that brought over 52 inches. I think we're going to surpass this. We're already seeing unofficial amounts of over 52 inches. And when you have rainfall rates of 3 to 6, I even saw 6 to 8 inches an hour with this tropical system, it is not going to be out of the question to see incredible, historic, catastrophic rainfall totals.
So hurricane hits. We're in our house for 5-6 days. Now, where we live, the water barely even met in the middle of the road. So we were just outside of the hurricane's reach where the flooding started. The flooding around Houston was astronomical. It was insane to see the people being rescued on boats and being pulled from the water, being pulled from the houses. Places that have never seen water flood before are now up to their rooftops. We're watching people from Louisiana, people from North Texas, all around the United States coming to help the first responders get people out from the flooded waters. I have a friend actually, Kyle from the Forgotten People, came from Dallas and tried to get to where people needed to be evacuated. He brought food, gas, water, stuff like that, supplies, but what he really wanted to do was get in there and start helping people. He got as far as the Woodlands and couldn't get any further because the roads were closed, because 45 was 5 feet underwater. But he actually did run into somebody who needed some help. So we have our team here handing out food and everything else. So it's intense. It's crazy to see. He got in a boat because this guy said, "I need you to help me save my family." And who can really say no to that? So he gets in the boat and he goes off and he saves this 5-6-year-old little girl from their flooded house. The man wasn't strong enough to get everything he needed, everybody he needed into the boat, and so luckily Kyle happened to be there, and he went on that rescue mission. And because of that, he went back up to Dallas and started telling everybody how bad Houston needs help. So from the beginning of the Mayweather-McGregor fight to the very last day of the flood, we were stuck at home watching all these horrific things unfold. And we decided something had to be done. The first responders are tired. They'll never stop. They'll keep getting up day after day after day. But there's something that has to happen after the first responders. So we go back up to Dallas, and I meet with Kyle, I meet with some other groups, and we come up with this plan that we're going to get 100 homes cleaned out in 10 days. So what we had to do is get enough volunteers, enough supplies, and enough people to help to finish that job, to finish that idea, 100 homes in 10 days. So it started off crazy. We had 20, 30 people to begin with, and then 40 people on the second day. But by the third day, we have gotten to the point where we had 210 people. Most of the people out helping have never mucked out a house, have no idea what they're walking into. It seemed like everybody in this time of horrific events, instead of taking advantage of one another, instead of looking at our differences, instead of wondering what I can get from the situation, all they did was give. They gave their time, they gave their finances. They gave up on other opportunities to go take care of their own homes, to take care of people who were worse off. We went into homes that were just utterly destroyed, lives that were destroyed. And these places, they didn't have flood insurance because it's never flooded there before. They had no idea how to claim on flood insurance. They didn't know what FEMA was all about. So in addition to mucking out the houses, we gave them information on FEMA, information on how to file insurance. We walked them through step by step on how to get past this. We weren't the first responders, we were more the long-term responders. What makes Houston strong is the us in Houston. That hashtag Houston Strong blew up. We saw it everywhere. And to tell you the truth, Houston were really rallying around the Astros that made it to the World Series. Not only made it, crushed it. And I think a lot of part of that is because so much was riding on them. There were people in gutted out houses that had just a little bit of electricity, one room of electricity in, barely any sheetrock on the walls, watching the World Series because they want to be reminded there's still good things going on despite where they're at.
2 on, 2 out. Tim Bennett. That's in the air to left. Here comes Fisher. Throw by Ethier. Astros win it in 10.
So the goal was 100 homes in 10 days. Well, we ended up doing 100 homes in 7 days. It was hard. We had late nights, early mornings. We had groups communicating with each other from 45 miles apart, trying to coordinate through this madness. There were some places cops wouldn't even let us in unless a homeowner vouched that we were supposed to be there. And thanks to the teams, it definitely wasn't flawless because we've never experienced anything like this. But no matter the roadblocks that we hit, we overcame each one and we hit our goal before the estimated time. I felt like there was another step we had to take. While I was thinking about what we should do next, a friend of mine called and said, we want to put a concert together to raise hope. And I said, well, let's not just raise hope, let's raise funds for the homes that we were able to muck out and make sure that they have, in some way, get those funds back to them so that they can start building their life. We called around, and the best venue we have is Rob Fleming Park. And everywhere that we could find, all said you need a month's time to plan a concert. We did it in 7 days. We found a venue, we got the insurance, we got the bands, we got the equipment, we got the lights, we got everything that we needed, all in 7 days, which is unheard of. Usually it takes a month just for them to approve the process. But my bride calling everybody and organizing everything with her friend Crystal Williams and Omar, they all did such a great job pulling together because they knew that if we missed this date, the next time we could actually have a concert would be 3 months later. And those people couldn't wait 3 months. They needed the help now. We actually need to be reminded again what hope sounds like. So we put on this praise and worship concert, and around 400 people showed up within a week's time of just advertising. It was phenomenal. We raised almost $20,000. So the concert was called Better Together. It was actually a hashtag Better Together. Vendors came, ministries came, the Forgotten People, Know the Fight was there, Chick-fil-A was there, so you know it was a poppin' concert. Praise and worship groups from all over the city reached out and said, can I be a part of what you guys are doing? And it came together so flawlessly in that week that there's too many people to name, but I'm just so thankful that God still puts people in your life that want to make a difference. If you want to help, go to this website. 100% of what you give goes to these people still living in tents that still need help. Remember, we're not the first responders, we're the long-term responders. Be a long-term responder with us. Go to this website and help this community.